morning, guys. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the second episode of Dies and Shine Saturday. So today we're going to be playing with another Spellbinders dies. This is not just going to be about Spellbinders, guys. This is going to be whatever die I choose. I just happen to be working on Christmas cards right now, so that's why. So this one is called a Christmas Tree. And this is the little shaker card that I made, or the little card that I made using this. So we're going to recreate this, and I'll just show you what the dies look like. So let me zoom you back out and we'll get started. All right, so this is the little die, and it is a two-piece die. It's got this out piece die and this inner piece. It's called Christmas Tree, and it is again part of the Delights section of the Spellbinders. So you're getting this piece and this piece. Now what's nice about these two dies is, of course, you can make a shaker card out of it, and it shows you right on the package that you can make a shaker card. So that's what that looks like. And the two dies are super easy. I have one bone to pick with this die. I wish I wish they had made the tree trunk separate, a separate piece, so that we could have our tree trunk going this side, this way, and being a little crooked, or going up and down and being perfectly straight. And I'll give you an example of that a little bit later on. So those are the two dies, and this is the card that I created, the shaker card I created. So we're going to go ahead and remake that, and then I'll just show you some of the other fun things that you could, a few of the things that you could possibly do with this die set. But first, let me get these put back away so I don't lose them. I think this would be a great set to keep in your stash. It's a really pretty Christmas tree, even if you don't use it as a shaker. Okay, so to make this card, the first thing I did is I cut out a piece of white cardstock that is smaller than my card. I am keeping this card white on white. You guys know I love to have my white showing. I also cut out a piece of fun foam. Now, if you guys are not familiar, I keep my fun foam right up here. I keep it the size of my A2 cards, and I buy it in bulk like this. I get it off of Amazon. I absolutely love the quality. It's nice and thick, and it saves me a lot of aggravation. I keep strips up here as well for when I am doing, you know, just piecing something together. But I keep an entire piece up there, an entire stack up there of sizes that are A2 size that I've cut to this size. And that way, when I need to make something like this, I already have it. So I've already cut that. So first thing I did is I cut my panel, and I used a stitch frame to go around that. And then I cut my fun foam the exact same way. I just stuck my die in there and I cut it. So we'll be using a piece of fun foam. We're going to be using a piece of acetate that I've already cut as well. And we're going to be using an A2 size card, okay? And then all the rest of it we'll put together as we go along. So I'm going to start with this piece and my white card base, and I'm going to kind of line them up where I want it on the base of my card. Remembering, guys, I'm going to keep this one white as well on the background, but you could put a layering piece back there. You could do whatever you wanted to do. So I'm going to put that up just a little bit, just a tiny bit. I'm going to call that good. And then I'm going to grab a pencil, and I'm just going to real lightly trace the outline of this tree on the inside. This is just going to help me later to make sure that I'm lining this back up on this card base. All right. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and get started. Okay. So to make this card, I am going to take, and first I'm just going to go ahead and attach my acetate to the back of my card panel. So I'm just going to be doing that with some glue. You could do it with tape or whatever. If you're using your acetate really close to where it's going to squeeze through, then I would suggest using tape. I'm going to be super careful and not get my acetate on, or get my glue on my acetate. That's a pain in a boo-ha-ha when you, yes, that's a made-up word. Boo-ha-ha, yes. It means booty. So I'm just going to real lightly put some glue around the edge of this, because I don't want this lifting up either, right? But I just want a super little amount of glue. So we're going to go around the edges here, like always. And then I'm just going to put just a little bit just around the edges of this tree as well. And just a little bit right in these two corners right here. And that's going to do it right there. I'm using my art glitter glue, but you could use whatever glue you wanted. It makes no difference at all. The biggest thing is once you lay this acetate down, lay it down, push it in, and then don't move it. Leave it alone, let it dry, okay? So now we have that set. I'm gonna set this up here because this is my safe zone. I'm trying to keep my mat nice and clean for you guys. Okay, so that's the first thing. The next thing we're gonna do is we are going to go ahead and attach our fun foam to the front of this card. That's why we have this traced out. So here's my little piece of fun foam. I think I'm going to trim just a little bit right here where it looks like it might be sticking off. Okay, and actually just let me make sure that it is the right size, that it's not hanging off anywhere obvious. And it's not. Okay, perfect. Okay. So the biggest thing when you do this is to make sure that you're on the right side. So the side that you cut is the side you want to go down, because if you happen to put it backwards, you'll see it just does not line up. It's not going to line up. So make sure you have it on the right side. You want your glue on the right side. So this is the cut side. This is the side that got cut. This is the back side. This is where we're going to be attaching our glue. And to attach my glue, I'm just going to go ahead and put it on this piece of card because I know where I need my glue now. And again, you could use tape, you could use your adhesive, you could use double-sided tape, you could do whatever you wanted to do this. I don't need it that far out though. Oh no. Good thing this glue dries clear, because we're just gonna wipe it off and act like it never happened. Okay. All right, hold on guys, I'm gonna do a little erasing trick here. If you've never seen this, a little white eraser will do miracles for removing stickies and gunkies off of the front of your cards. Because really, none of us really want to waste our cards, right? None of us want to waste our card bases. All right. Let me see how that's going to look when we put this back on there. It's going to be fine. Okay. We're going to be all right. Okay. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do this in reverse. I lied. I'm going to add this to, because this is not as big as this anymore. I'm just going to add it to this foam. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go around the foam, just to make sure that it just kind of stays down. So I'll go around the tree, go around the foam. And then I'm just going to go around the edges. Now this is art glitter glue. This is the glue I use for almost everything. I've been testing out the Nouveau glue, and I like it just fine. I've got no problems with it. I've tried the Jeannie K glue. I like it just fine, but this to me is still my go-to glue. I think it's affordable. You can get it in big containers. I just really like it. And it always sticks. I have no problems with it ever. Okay. So if it works for you, you know, use it. That's what I say. If it works for you, use it. All right. Let's put this on our card. I may have to bring this down to me just a little bit, guys, because you know my vision is not what it used to be. But that's perfect. Okay. Okay, so now because we want this foam to stay down, and this, you're going to move it a little bit because that glue, it takes just a few minutes for that glue to set up on a on fun foam. So I'm just going to take my Teflon bone folder. If you don't have a Teflon bone folder, of course use whatever you have. The reason I use a Teflon bone folder is because it is so easy to get everything off of it. It looks like brand new, but it's years old. And I resisted and resisted and resisted getting it, and it's the best thing I've ever done. Okay, perfect. All right, this is going to be our little channel where we're going to put our goodies that are inside our little shaker card. And now what I'm about to put inside that shaker card is going to freak you guys out a little bit, but don't be scared. Don't be scared. I'm going to put the lid on my glue real quick so it doesn't. And I'm going to use a little bit of this nasty smelling EK Success powder tool. This thing is, number one, hard to open. That's the first thing, it really is. Number two, it smells like the worst baby powder of life. I wouldn't put a baby powder that smells like this on my grandbabies. It's just, I think, personally, I think it's horrible. But, you know, it does really help with the cutting down of the stickiness and the static. I'm not putting anything in the star. We're going to use something else for the star. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I just realized I don't know where my red star is. Oh no. I think I might have thrown it out by mistake. Oh no. All right. So guess what we're going to fill the inside of this with? Look at that. I love these things. I love them for two reasons. One, they're not ever really going to go bad before somebody throws this card out. Somebody's not going to keep this card forever, and especially the people that I'm sending these cards to. The people that I'll be sending these cards to have small children, and if they happen to see this card and get into it and tear it up, guess what? It's edible. I don't have to worry about any small child eating something that's not edible and yet looks like candy. So this is what I'm using this year, and it's working out perfect. I'm using it for all of my shaker bits. I have it in a few colors, and I think it's fabulous. Now, I don't want this to shake. I want it to be full of color, so we're going to fill it up as much as we can without making a hot mess all over my desk. And I learned that my desk is not level. Because everything rolls that way. I mean, everything rolls that way. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to push it down. Make it move into the channels or move up. And then where I think there might need to be one or two more, I'm just going to go grab a couple. I also like how this gives you the randomness, right? I'm not having to choose what's going to go where. It's just all going there. Okay, and we're going to leave it just like that. Isn't that pretty? So, so, so pretty. And like I said, you know, people might put this up in their garage or in their attic or someplace till next year. I know I do that with the Christmas cards I get. I usually put them in a file folder and I put them away till next year so that I have a base if there was anybody new that sent me a card this year to send it out, right? Even if they did that, this would be fine for that year. People aren't going to keep these cards much more than a few years anyway. But I would think that over time, these little edible things would break down. Although, I have to tell you that I've had some in a baking, a baking kit that actually, one of those big open up container toolkits of baking stuff that I got. It actually was Chrissy's, the nurse from, gosh, before she went away to college, I think. And it has some of these and the little sprinkles in there. They've never melted, and I keep them in the garage. My garage has not got air conditioner. It's never melted. It's never got nasty. Is it spoiled? Yeah, these have an expiration date on them, so they do go bad. But it's like, this one is like, years and years out. I mean, like 10 years out. So these things have a huge shelf life. So I'm not worried about it. And plus, like I said, for right now, today, I know if one of those adorable little grandkids gets a hold of it, guess what? They're not going to get hurt at all. I don't have to worry about it. And I'll tell you why that's important. Because I found these super cute little, let me show you. I have one bag left. Hold on. I found these, right, from Honeybees. Now, these are little foam gumball shaker bits. They're kind of a pain in the booty because they're very lightweight, so that they come up at the air. The other thing is that little kids think these are candy, and they're not. They're foam. So if they swallow a handful of these, it's going to be big trouble. Big trouble for a 2-year-old. Big trouble, because it is just foam. This worries me. This worries the death out of me. Although it's super cute, it's really dangerous for small children. So I'm trying to go with something that I know isn't going to harm a child. That's all it is. And although I love these, and I've used them in another card, and I will continue to use things like this for adults, it's super bad for children. So I'm trying to be cautious where I can. Okay, so now we're going to be adding this piece to the top of this piece. Ooh, after we de-static it. Okay, so we're going to take our same little powder tool, and I'm just going to real quick go over this acetate just a little bit. Something else I don't like about this is this actually scratches. This thing actually scratches acetate, believe it or not. Okay. All right, now we're going to go ahead and put some glue on here. And I'm trying to decide, where should I put the glue? Do you think I should put it on the acetate or on here? If I put it on here, there's a good chance I might touch those. If you touch these with glue or water, of course, the color is going to come up. So you want to be very careful about that. I'm going to go ahead and put my glue right here. Did I leave it open too long? Maybe. So how is your Saturday? How did you guys enjoy the video from last week? Did you enjoy it? Do you think you're going to like this series? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know. I'm enjoying it. I was trying to think of something that would be kind of new for me. Good gravy. Did you guys see that? I went straight off the edge of that. I was trying to think of something that's new for me that would be, not too difficult, like a lot of coloring or something that I could make sure that I could commit to every week. Because, now I'm a grandma of 3. There's a newborn now. We were lucky enough for that little booger to survive, and he's here. So I'm busy. I'm going to be very, very busy. But I want to keep up my YouTube channel, of course. That's going to be too much glue right there, guys. We need to fix that stat. We do not need that much glue right there. Okay. That'll be okay. We're going to come back over here and put some, and then we're just going to go right here. Okay. Now again, once we put this acetate down, we're not going to want to move it because we're not going to want this glue to show through that acetate. So we're going to want to put it down, and I'm going to bring this closer to me so I can see where I'm lining it up. And then once we get it there, it's there. Okay, and it's right there. Isn't that pretty? How pretty is that, guys? I love that bright color. Now we have a little bit of glue showing through our star right there, which is not going to matter because we're going to be covering that area. Okay. All right, so the other little pieces that came with it are this little white tree trunk. This is a tree trunk. I wish that they had it solid on that die. Let me show you again. It's a solid piece on this die. I wish that they had made this separate, because if they did, we could have had our tree trunk this way, which is the way most of us like to have our tree trunk, right? But they didn't. So our option is to have our tree trunk this way, like this. This is actually for a different tree because it's got foam on it already. So all I'm going to do now for this one is to color it. And do I want to put a glitter star? I somehow lost my red glitter star. There it is. We found it. We're going to be putting a star on the top of the tree, so we're going to be taking a piece of the white. Now, like I told you guys last week, these videos are going to be a little bit longer. I'm not going to edit them. I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to talk to you guys. That's it. You know, it's just going to be whatever it takes, it takes. You can feel free to fast forward. There won't be too many colorings on these. This is just strictly going to be die cuts. It's just going to be dies that I've either just recently purchased or pulling them out of my stash and we're using them. And I'm just going to show them to you. That's all. Okay, so there's that. Super cute, right? I love it, love it, love it. Now, how I did the tree trunk is I just doubled them up. I used 2 of them and I colored them in. So I want my tree trunk to be brown. I don't know why. You could make it green if you wanted. I mean, here's the green. If you wanted to put a piece of green in there, you could do that. I really just wanted mine to be brown, so that's what we're going to do. And to do that, I'm just going to color it in with a couple of Copics. I'm going to start with my E31. These don't look right. E35 got put away. Okay. I'm actually going to color it in quickly with E31, and I'm not going to color the back one at all. So I'm just going to lay down some color and saturate this. I am using Nina 110-pound cardstock because I wanted the thickness for this. Otherwise, I would be using something a little bit less thirsty for ink. I want there to be a little bit of shadow area on this as well, a little bit lighter in the middle. But then I also want there to be some definition with the lines that the manufacturer, in this case Spellbinders, has already given us. So I'm going to take this brown marker and I'm just going to draw in these little lines that are already scored into our cardstock that the die does for us. And I'm just going to enhance them, including our little wood piece right there. And then I'm going to come in with my darker color brown. I will have all of these colors listed over on my blog, so if you're interested, go on over. They'll be over there along with some still shots of the stuff that I've done today. Do I want to put a little bit of extra brown on there on this edges? I think I do, just a little bit, just a teeny bit. Okay, good. Now we're going to tie it all together and you'll see how that looks. So let's go back to this E35. And with the E35, we're just going to come in and start blending from both directions. And then I'm going to come back in with my E31, which might be too light at this point. It is. So let's do E33. That's perfect. Okay. All right. And now we have a little tree trunk. Did you guys see how that Copic rolled all the way that way? I am not sure why all of a sudden my desk is going downhill, because it didn't when we first set it up, but it does now. I'm going to take another piece of the white that I cut out, and I'm going to go ahead and lay this on top. I just want to add a little bit of dimension when I set it down in there, so it pops up just a little bit. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and add a little bit to the bottom of the white piece, and we're going to set it down in there. Just like that. Super cute, right? How easy was that, guys? That was even with all my talking. Super, super, super easy. So there we go. Aren't they cute? Oh, the outline. All right, so for the outline of the tree here, so you can see here, we have the outline here, we don't. If you want to use an outline, you could of course use the green one if you wanted, right? And see, that ties in the whole Christmas tree feel of it if you want to. Or you could do what I did and use the white one. I think for this one I might actually use the green one, but you could also just put the white one in, and that keeps your card nice, clean, simple white, and just gives you that pop of a Christmas tree. You tell me in the comments below which one you think looks better, the white or the green. What do you think? I'm not sure. So for right now, I'm going to stick the green one in, but I'm not going to glue it in yet. I'm gonna wait on it. All right? Okay, so there we go. Super, super cute, right? I think I like the green too. I think I'm going to do this one in green, and I'll do this one in white. Super fun. And then all you have to do is put a little sentiment, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, or something like that, and you've got a great little card. That is kid-friendly. All right? Okay, so now the next thing I wanted to show you is that these make great little other things too. So what I've done is I've just die cut a few things. Now here's a piece of fun foam that got cut out, right? Look how cute that would be if you wanted to just layer it up for a little project for kids, or a little something, a little book, or even on the front of a card. Super pretty like that. Here I've taken it, I've added it to the fun foam and some green cardstock, and I've added just the white pieces in. So now I have a little snowy tree. Super cute, right? That would be adorable on a card front. Let's use a piece of fun foam. Come here, fun foam. So let's say this is a card front. Look how cute that would be, just like that. Super fun, right? Or let's do it in reverse. I'm going to go ahead and pop it up on the fun foam. I really like using the fun foam for dimension on stuff like this. And then we've got white with the green. Super, super cute, right? Really, really adorable. So I really think just the tree alone is super cute. And then you could also make this same shaker independent. You know, actually make it a shaker. Right? So you could make it so that it's got a back and a front, and it's not inside the card like we did. You could make it like this, and you could actually sit it inside the card and not even go through what we just went through, right? Super cute. So there's all different ways that you could do it. I wanted to have it be inlaid inside the card, but you could just make it separately, you know, cut out your pieces twice. You've got a back, you've got a front, you've got your foam piece in the middle that you've cut out as well, and it's just all going to fit in there. For this one, I used packaging paper instead of acetate, and it worked just fine too. So All different ways you can use this. So I'm going to give this die an A+. I think it is super, super adorable. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And stay tuned because you'll see right across the bottom the winner for last week's the last week dies that I was giving away. All right, I love you guys. I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday, and I will see you in the next video.